Hi, I'm Courtney Donovan, and we're back with DSAIA Live, and I'm here with Heather Sachs
Hello.
of the National Down Syndrome Congress, and a lot of really exciting things, exciting and critical things are happening in Washington right now that should be top of mind for anyone involved in the Down syndrome community, anyone who cares about someone with Down syndrome, and Heather's going to talk to us a little bit about that. So you were telling me earlier that something's coming up next week.
Sure. Well, there's a lot of different issues currently before Congress. One thing that our team has been particularly taking the lead on is the Higher Education Act. The Higher Education Act is in the process of being reauthorized. This is a bill that provides financial assistance for students, and has brought in supports to colleges and universities. But as significant it is for our community, in 2008, when it was reauthorized, it actually added a lot of language and resources to create post-secondary programs for people with intellectual disabilities. And so part of that is grant funding. These grants called the TIPSs, which is a crazy complex acronym, but these are these programs at various colleges and universities around the country. It also funded the National Coordinating Center, which is at thinkcollege.net. And so that is up right now for reauthorization. So we are very fortunate at NDSC that we have Stephanie Smith-Lee on our policy team. And she is really kind of the guru in this area. She has been doing this policy for a very long time. She's been pounding the pavement on Capitol Hill, meeting with lots and lots of senior staff and members of Congress as well. The way it stands now is on the House side, the House version, which was called the Prosper Act, actually did pass through committee. We didn't think it was a great bill, to tell you the truth. Okay. There was a Democratic side bill as well that was proposed that we did really support. However, we were pleasantly surprised that the Prosper Act, which did pass committee, did contain some very favorable language for our population, for folks with IDD, in terms of preserving the funding levels for the TIPSs. But there were a lot of other negatives in the bill too. So what we're doing now is we're hearing that the bill is, that the Senate is going to be taking up the bill as well. Most likely, though, not the bill that the House passed. So we're very pleased that Senators Murray and Alexander seem to work very well together on most education issues. And Stephanie's been working directly with both of their offices and the committee staff to actually produce a bipartisan bill that will hopefully be very beneficial for the disability community.
So what can parents, advocates, our grassroots, what can they do right now that can help preserve this funding for these post-secondary education opportunities?
Okay, that's a great question. So there's actually two things that groups and then that individuals can do. Groups, right now we have a sign-on letter. We are just trying to collect as many group signatures as possible. The letter contains our recommendations for what should be in the language of the Senate version of the bill. It's not just NDSC's recommendations. Years ago, Stephanie put together essentially an experts work group, a higher education committee. So it's the committee's recommendations. So we are still seeking sign-ons for that. If anyone wants information from that, they can actually just send me an email, and I will get them the info. My email is heather@ndsccenter.org. What individuals can do is next week or the following week, we are going to be sending out an action alert. That is the time when we need individuals to actually pick up the phone, send emails, call their senators, and say that they are supporting, certain aspects of the bill. And we haven't seen the bill yet, so obviously we need to, to see it and figure out, what parts we want to advocate for or against. But that's the way someone can prepare to do that is right now to get on our mailing list, which would be at our ndsccenter.org website. Under the Policy and Advocacy tab, if you go to the Take Action part, you can do a quick registration for our action alerts, and that gets you kind of in our system. And then when we send out action alerts with information and a call to action, we always provide templates and talking points, and it's very quick, easy advocacy. Then we'll be able to get as many people as possible to weigh in.
And my understanding is that what we're doing here is making sure that programs at Syracuse, at George Mason, at Vanderbilt and across the country continue to be funded.
Absolutely.
So that adults with intellectual disabilities can continue to be included
Yes.
in these college programs, these amazing college programs, and hopefully see more of them.
Yes, that's absolutely the hope. You know, there's also a whole data collection component, and with funding comes, you know, more and you know, mandated data collection, which is a good thing because it really kind of justifies the program's existence as well. The biggest, you know, over the years and the data that's been collected so far, the biggest benefit to these programs have been that they really are a valid pathway to employment. You know, there's an 85% unemployment rate for people with intellectual and developmental disabilities. Well, studies show that when people attend these post-secondary programs, they are much more likely to get a job upon graduation. Also, during the programs, they are now allowed to participate in work-study programs and you know, have various other work experiences. So they're not just, you know, taking college classes and learning that. It's actually really, you know, helping them for the future. So it's very important.
It's great. It's very exciting for me as well. I have a daughter who's 8, and I think about what her future is going to be like. In 10.
Me too. I know. I have a 12-year-old, so we're not too far ahead of you.
Yes.
We're still in middle school, but it is really exciting to know that there's all these possibilities out there.
That's great. So one more thing, maybe just tell us a little bit about what's happening on the grassroots level. I know you've got a new program. You're looking for people to sign up for, and how can local organizations get their parents and members and stakeholders involved in that program?
Great question. So in November, we launched the National Down Syndrome Advocacy Coalition, NDAC for short. And what that is it's a national grassroots advocacy program for both individuals and groups, which serves as a way for us to convey information to you, to make it easier for you to get information to your members, and for us all to unify as a community when we need to raise our voice and we need to take advocacy action. It's a way to do it together. NDAC is really for people of all levels of experience of advocacy. There's a teaching component to it. My policy team and I are doing quarterly webinars where we go through all of the issues that we're working on in Washington, D.C. and really talk about why they're important and what we're doing and what's coming down the pike. We've also just added, very exciting, we haven't even officially announced it yet, but we will be this week, as part of the NDSC convention this year, which will be in Dallas in July. We've just added an advocacy training day to it. That Thursday morning of the convention, which we're very excited, NDSC is going to be doing it in collaboration with Global Down Syndrome. And it's really going to be targeting folks that do not necessarily have advocacy experience, that are maybe a little bit nervous to do policy and advocacy work. I'm kind of calling it Advocacy 101. You know, we're going to give you the tools you need. So we hope that people that are coming to the convention, and there's usually about 4,000 people that come to the convention.
I know, 4,000 new...
Yes. So we're hoping that
new
people
and stronger advocates.
will come in that Wednesday and then go to the advocacy training day. So ways that you can get engaged in NDAC, it's very easy. You have to be an NDSC member. And for folks that are coming to the convention, they're automatically members because part of the convention registration is the membership fee. Okay, so, and then groups that join NDAC have to be NDSC affiliates. And then there's no additional charge to join the NDAC program. And all you do is go on our website under the Policy and Advocacy tab, and there's a whole section on NDAC and what it is, and there's links to the membership applications on there.
I love all the great things that you're doing at NDSC and for the thousands upon thousands of adults and children with Down syndrome in this country.
Thank you.
It's really important work. Thank you so much.
My pleasure. It's really a labor of love.
Yes,
you know, and personal to me too, having a child with Down syndrome.
Exactly, for so many of
glad
us,
to be able
right?
to do it. Yeah, absolutely.
So Heather Sachs, Courtney Donovan, signing off. DSAIA Live. Thanks.